As a hypnotherapist, I spend more time explaining to patients what hypnosis isn't, rather than what it is, and I'm sure that the vast majority of hypnotherapists out there are in the same boat. The truth is, there are many misconceptions about hypnosis, and most of that comes down to its portrayal in films, in the media, and through shows. So in this video, it's my intention to identify and debunk some of the most common misconceptions I have come across in my work. Number 1. Stage hypnosis. You're not going to make me cluck like a chicken, are you? The question, the number one question, the question that I can almost guarantee I will get asked when seeing a patient for the first time who's never experienced hypnotherapy before. Stage hypnosis is worlds apart from clinical hypnosis. Stage hypnotists utilise hypnotic phenomena to put on a show. It's for entertainment, and that's a wonderful thing. The hypnotist will spend some time putting the audience through suggestibility tests, which allows them to identify those that are highly hypnotisable. It's estimated that 10% of the population are, although this figure is an estimate and different studies will tell you different figures. Within this group of highly hypnotisable individuals, the hypnotist is looking for the extroverts, those that would be happy to be up on stage, acting a bit daft. Once they have identified those that will be ideal on stage, they will give them suggestions to act out a range of different things. The hypnotist will start small, suggesting to an individual that they will act out the opening number from Les Mis right from the off, isn't likely to get many takers, and will most likely bring the individual out of hypnosis. But starting small, by suggesting that an individual won't be able to use their legs when they try and stand up, or that they will shout out a certain phrase when the hypnotist clicks their fingers, is a good start. Once an individual has acted out on one suggestion, they are then more likely to act out another, slightly more outrageous suggestion. The hypnotist then builds up with more wild suggestions each time, until eventually you get to the opening number of Les Mis. By the way, I do not know if that's ever actually happened or been achieved, but I think it'd be a wonderful thing to make happen. Number 2. Mind control. Sticking with the chicken question, hypnosis is not mind control. Those that are chosen to take part in a stage hypnosis show are still fully in control and would not do anything they didn't want to do. If they act like a chicken, it's because they're comfortable with doing so. Hypnosis has often been associated with mind control, but it's simply not true. You cannot make anyone do or say anything that they do not want to do or say. At all times during a hypnosis session, the patient is fully in control. Similarly, a person will only go into hypnosis if they want to go into hypnosis. I have heard no end of people tell me I won't be able to hypnotise them, and they are absolutely right, because they don't want to be hypnotised. Number 3. Only gullible, weak-minded and uneducated people can be hypnotised. Again, this is simply not true. There is evidence to suggest that in terms of education, it is actually those that are quite intelligent that make the best hypnotic subjects. Those that have above average intelligence are more capable of concentrating and have a greater capacity for creativity and for utilising their vivid imaginations. Everyone fits somewhere on the scale of hypnotisability. Again, it's estimated that 10% of the population are highly hypnotisable, 10% are low or not hypnotisable, and everyone else fits in between. But again, it comes down to some simple facts. If you're resistant to being hypnotised, then you won't be hypnotised. If you are open to the process, then you are more likely to do so. There is debate as to whether everyone can be hypnotised. Some hypnotherapists will tell you everyone can be hypnotised. Others will tell you that's not true. Personally, and my opinion can be changed with the right evidence, I think that everyone can experience hypnosis or a state similar to hypnosis, daydreaming for example, but the level of suggestibility obviously varies greatly. I think there are those that simply do not respond to hypnotherapy. As a therapy, it does not work for everyone. No one therapy does. Now, of course, the effectiveness of any therapy can be influenced by an individual's beliefs. their motivation, the timing for seeking out help. However, if there was a single therapy that worked for everyone, then that would be the only therapy we would do. We'd be mad not to, right? The best way to find out if hypnotherapy will work for you is to go for it. If it works, great. If it doesn't, then at least you can say you tried and move on to try something different. Number 4, you can get stuck in hypnosis. To date, the best question I have ever been asked by a patient has been, what happens if I, the hypnotherapist, have a heart attack while they, the patient, are in hypnosis? Now the answer of, well, I hope you'd call an ambulance, usually puts people at ease. You cannot get stuck in hypnosis. If I were to have a heart attack whilst conducting hypnosis, 1, that's bad for me, but 2, the patient would simply reawaken in their own time, probably a bit quicker, as they would most likely be curious as to why the voice guiding them has suddenly stopped. Number 5, sleep. It is not sleep. Oh, you want more? There are many reasons why someone may think that a person in hypnosis is asleep. Once a hypnotherapist formally induces hypnosis, physically the patient will have their eyes closed, although they don't have to. They will have slower breathing. Their muscles are relaxed. However, they are very much awake, conscious to what is going on around them and highly focused. They may have their eyes closed, but could open them at any point if they chose to do so. Number 6, a magic bullet. It can cure anything in a single session. To make it very clear, for some individuals presenting with certain conditions, results can be achieved in a single session. I have seen patients that required a single session to recover from their condition and have been fine ever since. This is not the norm. These individuals are very much in the minority. Hypnotherapy seems to have gained a reputation for single session miracles. I quite often have to explain to patients that it requires a build-up of sessions, and the amount needed depends A, on the individual, and B, on the condition they're presenting with. Hypnotherapy does work quickly, and in comparison to other therapies, it only requires a handful of sessions to make a lasting change. But again, this is down to the individual and the condition. It seems that there are a lot of hypnotherapists out there promising rapid transformations and that they can cure afflictions in a single session. Personally, I find these claims to be dangerous, and it just feels like inflated egos. I have seen patients who felt like failures because they saw another hypnotherapist who promised rapid results, which they didn't get. It is dangerous to make these claims, especially for those presenting with serious conditions, such as anxiety, depression, PTSD. Again, rapid transformations can happen, but they are not the norm. These grandiose claims also work against hypnosis being taken seriously within the medical community. Number 7, a placebo. Many people believe that hypnosis is simply a placebo and that it works because a patient believes it will work. Well, beliefs are an incredibly powerful thing, and the mind is incredibly powerful too. There is a school of thought that if you believe in something enough, it will work simply because you believe it does. On the flip side, if you believe something won't work, then it won't because you believe it won't. And to a certain degree, this can be said about most things. There will be people that have been for hypnotherapy who have got better simply because they believed it would work. However, hypnosis is not a placebo. Advances in science and technology have allowed scientists to observe the brain during hypnosis. Recent studies have shown that there are observable changes in the brain in hypnotizable patients compared to non-hypnotizable patients. Hopefully in years to come the evidence will continue to grow and legitimize hypnotherapy as a genuine tool for medical use. There are also those that argue that hypnosis doesn't work. Well, again, changes in the brain have been observed, so it does work for a lot of people, and the amount of scientific studies showing the effectiveness in hypnosis in managing a range of issues is quite staggering. Number 8, meditation. Although it can seem very similar to meditation, it is not meditation. Both are wonderful practices that each bring their own list of benefits. Meditation and hypnosis are both about bringing relaxation to the body and the mind. I'm not a specialist, in meditation or mindfulness. And if you're interested in those things, I urge you to go and look them up. Hypnosis, though, uses this relaxed state to communicate with the unconscious mind, utilising suggestions, visualizations, affirmations. Self-hypnosis and meditation can seem very similar, but if you were to look at hypnosis in a stage show, for example, you can see that they differ in many ways. Number 9. You'll have no memory of the session. Now this is an interesting one, and certainly it varies from person to person. There are those that will remember everything that has been said. There are those that will remember words had been said, but won't remember what the words were. And there will be some, the incredibly hypnotisable subjects, who experience amnesia, who will remember nothing about the hypnosis session. However, they will remember going into and coming out of hypnosis. If you think about it, yesterday you had a conversation with someone. Can you remember everything that was said, word for word? I know I can't, but I know that I had the conversation and I could tell you the context, quite a bit of what was said. This is often what it feels like when thinking back to a hypnosis session. But again, it varies from person to person. Number 10. You'll reveal your deepest, darkest secrets. Again, it comes down to the mind control misconception. The individual in hypnosis is conscious, aware, and in control. They simply will not say or reveal anything they did not want to reveal or to say. Number 11. You'll be able to recall every single detail of your life. Hypnosis can help you relive a certain memory or to help recall a memory, but it does not give an individual access to every moment of their life. It is also important to remember that memories are not exact recollections. A memory is a reimagined interpretation, which is distorted by a number of factors. We will go into detail on this in a future video. And finally, number 12. It's dangerous. Guess what? It's not. Hypnosis is not dangerous. There are no known side effects. The worst thing that can happen during a hypnosis session is that you suffer an abreaction. This can be upsetting, but it's not dangerous in any way. Having an abreaction can often be helpful, as it's an emotional release, and considered that hypnosis is being used for therapy. Therapy often must deal with troubling memories. However, a trained hypnotherapist is always looking out for your best intentions, and they will always make sure you are safe and allow you to return to a calm place. Some patients come out of hypnosis and feel very tired, mainly because they've had the opportunity to relax, something we don't get much chance to do in this day and age. So those are 12 of the most common misconceptions about hypnosis. I hope that this video has helped debunk some of these misconceptions and put your mind at ease. If you're considering hypnosis, then please don't be put off by how it's commonly portrayed. Any qualified clinical hypnotherapist would be more than happy to discuss with you how it could potentially help you, how you might experience it, and put your mind at ease.